Let's get to Sunday afternoon. I can't wait to talk about this game. 44-0. The Storm showed the Bulldogs again exactly where they're at and what it all means. Barney, some stats.
Yeah, 8 tries to 0, 6 out of 8 conversions, 79% completion, played 71. 34 out of 43 sets, played 27 out of 38. 5 line breaks for the Storm, 1 for the Dogs. 20 tackle busts, played 27. 7 offloads to 23. 4 forced dropouts by the Dogs. I'm not sure if that's right or if I've written it down incorrectly or what, but apparently there was none for the Storm and 4 for the Dogs. 0 40-20s, 303 tackles, played 318 tackles. 4 ruck infringements, played 2. 6 penalties conceded to 7. 10 errors to 11. Grant made 36 tackles. Waddell made 34. I reckon he missed quite a few. But Coates with 201 metres. Tavita Pangai with 151. Coates missed 4 tackles, made 7. 9 misses from the 2 halves. Braden Burns missed 3 tackles, made 21. And the centres for the Bulldogs, Avarillo missed 2, made 5. And Naden missed 2 and made 6. Pappenhausen with 193 Supercoach points, Coates with 87, and Tavita Pangai with 82.
How about it, Gum?
The attack is just horrendous. And I'm trying to think of a worse word than horrendous, but like the Bulldogs, and you knew, look, I said last week they probably needed to play different, so it wasn't 30-6. It was 44-0, so I was a couple of tries off sort of what it would be in terms of if the Bulldogs played the same way. They played the same way, and for the first 15 minutes, they had all the ball down at Melbourne's end and never looked like scoring a try. It was just a set-up play and then a set-up play, and you think they're going to do something, and then there'd be another hit up, and then there'd be a kick that'd go dead, or it's just...
I don't understand.
It's
Is Trent
comical
Barrett
that-
actively sitting there going, mate, we don't want you to do anything till the 5th tackle. Just keep hitting up and then we'll keep it there and who knows?
Because you're not going to beat Melbourne or
beat anyone.
Penrith or any of those teams just trying to slog it out with them in the middle and try and win 12-10. You're not going to, when you're a bottom team, you're not going to beat the top teams doing that because they can score when they want to score. The last 15 minutes, Melbourne didn't score a try and didn't try to score a try. Maybe Gus has said, send a message out, we don't want to lose by 60. Just pull up a bit because it was... Look, the only shining light on the day was TPJ. For the Bulldogs, I thought playing in the middle, he 150, tried to offload. He did most times. He sort of got the ball. There's just nobody there to really do anything. That's the same as the Raiders. Marshall King standing there and just gets the ball flat-footed, runs another 2 metres and gets tackled. Look, I don't know what the answer is. Well, unless they get somebody that can really manage a game and probably a different coach that comes in to do something, then I can't see it improving in terms of attack. So, look, in the next few weeks, they play Penrith this week. Hopefully, for the Bulldogs' sake, Penrith rest a few. Like I know Luai had that little bit of a knee injury or whatever. Maybe it gives a couple of them a rest this week and sort of take, but even they'll bring O'Sullivan in or someone else in and it won't change anything. But Penrith won't have the same intensity this week playing the Bulldogs. The Storm with the Storm, Pappy is just starting to flick into gear, I think, in terms of his performances. Harry Grant was good. Jerome Hughes was good. Like Olam and blokes like that didn't really have to do much. Kenny Bromwich, I thought, was really good for them as well on the edge. Look, not too much more you can say. It's, the performance from the Bulldogs wasn't great, and Melbourne were Melbourne, and they probably weren't 100% at their best either. Didn't have to be.
Yep, 100%. I don't really have much more to add. Melbourne are a good football team. They have the best spine in the comp, arguably. You could probably argue against the team we're about to talk about. And Pappenhausen has taken, nearly 12 months to get over his head knock, and now it looks like he's pretty good. He's flying. I don't think their spines haven't gotten to gear yet. They didn't really need to use the cheese a lot. He had a quiet game, so there's more ammunition there probably. Munster wasn't needed a lot, got in the way a couple times, but didn't really need to be involved. Hughes looked tremendous. Yep. Obviously the best running halfback in the game, and was at his best. And when you put them all together, you're going to beat a bottom 14 by a lot of points. Well, what can I say, Barn?
I wish the Dogs had a bit more strike in their team, because this would have been something like 44-20. It would have been a pretty entertaining game. There was definitely opportunities there. Their forward pack worked hard enough to.
It could have been 12.
I thought that they matched Melbourne's forward pack for the majority of the game, and if you put a bit more strike in those halves and in the back line, this could have been a very, very competitive game. And so I thought the Dogs probably matched them, if not bettered them at times in the middle of the field. Tavita Pangai Jr.'s performance this week was as good as just about anybody in the NRL over the entire weekend. But they just cannot and do not score any points. And they're up against a team who can absolutely out of nowhere put 20 points on in 15 minutes. And then you're sitting there scratching your head going, how the fuck did that happen? It was because Pappenhausen ran past Tillers and someone, put on a beautiful inside ball or something, and game's over. Like, Melbourne beat some of the best teams by doing that, scoring 18 points in 10 minutes, and you just don't know what, you don't know how it happened, but it happens so many times, it's not a coincidence. And then you get a 44-0 scoreline. There's just no ability to provide any points of attack outside of Tavita Pangai barge over or a bomb that gets dropped and someone picks it up and scores points. I don't know.
Pray that Matt Duffy gets a open field.
Steps back inside somebody. Yeah. And surely, you're one of the least effective attacking teams in the competition. Why the fuck are you not coming up with play after play after play and just trying them? You got to try something. Yeah. You can't come out and score 6 to 10 points every week and lose by 10 and then go, oh, we didn't get the rub of the green today. We didn't, fucking put on 7 or 8 plays in 6 or 7 times you touch the ball and see what happens.
And I don't understand the selection either of Avarillo in the centres and putting Shop in reserve grade. Shop was great the week before. The way he handled Turbo and defensively, Shop was really good. And they put Avarillo in, and I thought Shop must have been injured, but I looked in reserve grade and he scored a couple of meat pies in reserve grade Shop. Yeah. So wasn't injured. So I don't quite get that selection. But anyway, he's paid to do a job.
Burton and Wakem weren't poor either. They did a job. They just don't have any structure around them to show them the way to go. Like, they're not bad halves.
They're asking Burton.
There's something there, but
Burton's trying to do the job of 2.
Yeah. Thompson and King, again, were probably the best front rowers from the Bulldogs. Jackson and, as I said, Tavita Pangai was their best Bulldog by a mile. Coates and Hughes were good. We've already mentioned them all. Harry, Josh King, again, had a really good game, playing 13 for the Storm. I thought Kafusi was really good. Actually, he's probably the second best player on the field. And Pappenhausen looked like he came from a different planet in this game. So,
well, hell, like that, who knows?
Well, my biggest gripe with the Bulldogs for the majority of last season has officially come back this week, and that's whenever I see them with the ball in hand, I want to fall asleep. Like
I said, they're buffering. They're a team.
Last year, it was the exact same thing. They would be 10 meters out. I remember distinctly, and this game reminded me of it, when they versed Penrith at Penrith last year. For the first 20 minutes of the game, they had the ball literally within Penrith's 20 and were not a threat at all. And Gump, I know you bring it up about Payne Haas and needing, a halfback and a front rower. At the moment, if I'm the Bulldogs, I sort of get why you're not giving Haas $1 million, because they need a halfback. Nothing is going to change at that club, or at least very little is going to change until they get that proper game controlling halfback.
Look, I agree,
until then, nothing's going to what.
But until one comes available, you got to try and come up with a game plan to work around it, Ollie. That's my thing. Like, I 100% agree with you. But if nobody's on the market to get, then maybe you get Payne Haas and think, okay, we've got to play differently. Teams have been reasonably successful without a 7, but a good 6 and a good 9 or whatever. And that's the thing. Reid Marnie's coming, Kikau's coming, but and that's probably
what a Reid Marnie. And this is my problem. Let's be honest, we probably all still agree Barrett's going to be the first coach to go.
Yeah.
Even with Madge, and we'll get to Hook. But what in this structure, what's Reid Marnie and Kiko going to do? Kiko's going to touch a ball 4 times.
Well, they're not going to do anything.
And he's expected to make 40 tackles.
Reid Marnie will give you a kicking game out of dummy half, which they currently don't have. Where they can kick from their own 40 and possibly put them in a corner.
So their hope is to build a team around,
maybe get a 40-20
around Reid Marnie.
Absolutely, and he can give some options out of dummy half for short runners, the crash play, inside outside angles, and a better. He'll give Burton a little bit more time and space because he's got really good service from dummy half. But
my point is, are they going to be? Is that
no,
how they're
absolutely
going to
not.
They
might go up 2 or 3 different. They might go up 2 spots on the ladder, but they're not going to be a competitive team by throwing him in.
I 100% agree with Ollie, but until someone comes on the market, they've got to be creative and play differently. And the Bulldogs aren't the only side that need to do.
The theme of this show is there's 8 teams that need to play.
Correct. That we've said tonight that there's a lot of sides that are pedestrian in attack, and they've all probably got the same problem. That there's no.
But it becomes paralysis by analysis. It becomes.
Correct.
They're too scared to concede.
But even a 9 that's willing to get out and run and kick early, or run the ball and actually get somebody to follow him, that'd make some sort of difference. There's just no options. There's no options out of the Bulldogs at the moment.
I don't know what I don't. Well, there's no answer this year. They don't have it. Their roster's full unless they get rid of someone and someone becomes available. They're talking about player swaps with Luke Brooks to the Bulldogs and Kyle Flanagan to the Tigers and whatnot. Well, that's what I mean. I don't know that that's the answer.
They can dead set do worse than going, okay, Fox, every time we've got to quick play the ball, get to 9 and just fucking sprint straight up the middle of the field. You know what I mean? It'd get them on the front foot at least. It'd get them quick play the ball. It'd do something. But
put Dufty to 6. Play Burn at 7, put Dufty to 6, and at least he's got a rainbow ball and he's got a, he'll try something.
Yeah, look, he's got to try something, but I don't know.
Who they are. Obviously, Pappy's getting 3, Hughes 2, and you were suggesting you might have.
I had Kafusi for 2, and then I either had Harry Grant or Jerome Hughes for the 1.
I'm happy with Kafusi for the 1 because I probably would have had Hughes. I think him and Pappenhausen complemented each other really well as well.
Yeah,
we'll go Hughes 2 and Kafusi 1.